Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone is doing well today. Ready for another great show. Just waiting on just sent the invites to my guests. They are coming on in just a minute. All right, we got one coming in. There she is. There's one of my guests, and we're waiting on one more, and then we will get started with the
Okay, awesome.
show. All right. Let's see. Nicole should be on in just a second.
Okay.
Looking good. Looking good. Ah, and there she is. There she is. So there's on both of my guests. So with that being said, all of my guests are here. And we're going to go ahead and get started with this show. I am so excited for today. For those that are watching, hello, welcome. This is your favorite breast cancer survivor, Tisha, from Tisha's Tea Room, the place where conversations conquer cancer. And we are in the month of October. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we know that a lot of things are going on throughout this month to not only bring awareness to this disease, but lots of things are happening to help find a cure and just to help stop this disease from affecting so many people, whether it's someone in your family or just someone in general, whether it's man or woman. Today, my two guests are just two powerhouses that I just love so much, and they are just so near and dear to my heart. They are the founders of two grassroots organizations, breast cancer organizations here in the Maryland area, and I wanted to bring them on and have them come to the tea room and share a little bit about their organizations. So with that being said, please welcome my two guests, the founder of Two for Two Booths, Miss Tallulah Anderson, and the founder of Pink for the City, Miss Nicole Logan. Welcome,
Hey.
ladies.
Hey.
How are you?
Doing good.
I
Great.
just want to say, first and foremost, thank you so very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules, because I know both of you are busy, hitting the ground running during this month. So thank you for taking the time to come to the tea room. And with that being said, I just want to Tallulah, I'll start with you. Just share, because with you are a breast cancer survivor.
Yeah.
So share a little bit, a couple minutes about your story and how Two for Two Boots came into fruition.
Okay. So I am a 3-time
Mm.
survivor of breast cancer, and I have a family history of breast cancer. So actually, it's 3 generations. I posted a picture today
Mm-hmm.
that showed a picture of my sisters, myself, and a
Okay.
cousin. But I have a unique family history. My mom and my dad both had breast
Wow.
cancer, and they both died from breast cancer. My oldest sister, who is like 12 years older than me, is going on a 32-year of her survivorship, thrivership. And I have another sister who was diagnosed, and then a niece. So we all were genetically tested, and we do have the BRCA2 gene. So I was able to be screened early because I knew my family
Okay.
history. And I discovered my breast cancer early. So I started my nonprofit because it was for my family. Number one, so that everyone could know, right? And so that I could spread my story and information that I've learned about genetic breast cancer to others to help them. And it's all about early detection. So 2 for 2 boobs is an acronym that means take 2 minutes to check your two. You don't have to check whatever you got up
I
there,
love it.
but just check it, right?
Absolutely.
So that name came, and so we've been around again for going on close to 15 years now. Started off small, still small, but mighty, and we're able to do what we want to do is educate, engage the community, engage our families, and most important, empower survivors and thrivers.
I love it. I love it. And Nicole, you actually come in from a different perspective. You were actually a caregiver. And
Not
I want
necessarily a caregiver. Hold
okay.
on, not a caregiver. However, my godmother who was diagnosed, she's actually why I got into
Okay.
advocacy.
Okay, it was the godmother.
Wanted to be
I knew it was the
clear.
godmother, but yes. Okay. So share a little bit about
I
that
think you
particular.
froze. Oh, I froze. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine. Tell us a little bit about your experience and how Pink for the City came about, which I am proud to say that I am a board member of this wonderful organization. I got my shirt on too. So,
If you guys would have sent me a shirt, I would
oh,
have it on.
we're gonna get you one. Don't worry, we got you. We got you. We got you. So, Nicole, share a little bit about your experience with breast cancer and how watching your godmother go through it, and then how Pink for the City came about.
So my godmother was diagnosed before I had left for college, but my like I wasn't even making the connection like, hey, this could impact Black women. I just thought, well, some things happen. Um, and surprisingly enough, leading into my senior year, while I was a student at North Carolina A&T, I actually did research at Howard for the summer through Amgen Foundation, and we were focusing on breast cancer cells. Now, I hadn't said anything to them about it. I was just like, well, this is great. And even me getting into the program was really, that was all God. So being able to work with breast cancer cells, my brain started thinking, well, wait a minute, stress can cause issues with your health? Like I didn't make the connection. And the professor who was over the project, he said, oh yeah, stress. It can number on your body. It can do a doozy. And then I thought about how I managed stress as a young Black woman. At the time I was 20. And then I'm thinking for the moms, for the wives, what does that look like for them? The amount of stress that they're probably holding on to daily could possibly kill us. And so when I got home for winter break, I was so excited to tell my godmother about everything that I learned. And I was like, well, I want to start working with you guys. Because at the time she was a member of a local chapter of Sisters Network. And so she said, well, come with me, come to some activities. I want to introduce you to some people. And there was a walk that they had within a community, and it was almost like every other home. Oh yeah, I have breast cancer. Oh, my mom had breast cancer. My aunt had breast cancer. And I got nervous because the girls were looking extremely young. I said, well, wait a minute. I thought this was an older woman's thing. There's a disconnect, right? Like what I thought is not what I'm looking at dead in my face. And then I talked to her more, and she said, oh yeah, young Black women are getting diagnosed. And I said, well, my God. And I was thinking, if I didn't have this information, how many other young women have no clue, have no idea, and no one talking to them? And so I had that kind of jump started Pink for the City. Actually, I had held an activity to do like a fundraiser for them, but I was tying in the arts and other providers, and it was just a way to like start having that conversation. And the feedback that I got from that was a lot of young women were like, so I didn't know this. And now I need to actually have a conversation with the women in my family because I don't know our health history. And that just kind of kept me to keep moving. And then we started hosting activities like maybe every year, every other year. My godmother transition in 2015, it was like a battery put in my back. And then I realized that there were steps were already being ordered for us to be here. And so my focus has just always been making sure that the women who are under the age to actually have a mammogram, at least they know, at least they have that information, and there can start being conversations, because I can imagine that it's extremely tough being in your 20s and being told you have breast cancer. And I actually saw it firsthand. My cousin's wife was diagnosed. Her birthday's a month after mine, so I think she was 25 or 26, a mother of two. And I'm thinking, how do you make peace with hearing that? How do you process that as a young woman? Because she was extremely active, so it's not like they could pinpoint anything in particular. But it just was like, we got to keep this moving. We have to keep doing this because young women are being impacted, and there's disparities out there. And especially for Black women, it's like we have to get a jump start on our health because we are being diagnosed with a lot of things at an earlier age in comparison to others. So that is how I got here.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, thank God for both of y'all for getting these two organizations started. And question for just we're just going to have a casual conversation. So I'm just going to ask a question, and whoever wants to jump in, just jump in. Nicole, as you were sharing, you said a lot about how African American women, or African American community, period, don't know a lot about breast cancer, genetic testing, clinical trials. And that's something that I, as a survivor myself, I'm learning a lot about. How do you help bridge that gap? Because 40% of African American women die at a higher rate than our counterparts. That's a huge number. That's a lot. That is a real big number. And like myself, I did not know that. I always thought this was old people disease. But as I'm going, as the years go by, and when I went through my journey, so many women younger and younger are getting diagnosed. So how do we educate them? What do we do to bridge that gap? I know, again, we're in the Maryland area. Nicole, your organization focuses more in the Baltimore City area. Tallulah, you're 2 for 2 Boots, if I'm not mistaken, is in the Prince George's County area. So what are we doing to help bridge that gap?
So we're doing it. Let
Yes,
me just say that we have started 10 years ago. 15 years ago, when I was first diagnosed, there wasn't as many organizations, no Black voices. There was no organization, maybe 2 major organizations around, right? And now I've seen the growth. I've seen the sharing of stories. I've seen so much in advocacy, and that's great. And I see it making a difference. I will say this. Education is the most important thing that needs to happen.
Absolutely.
I work in managed care. Okay. So managed care, if you qualify for Medicaid, you're assigned an insurance plan. And in my position, I made it a point to start a breast health education class.
Okay.
And I did that because when we were speaking with women, and these are low income women, in the district, just what you mentioned, an older woman's disease. Oh, there's no way I can get it. If I don't want to know, if they cut you open, it's going to spread all over your body. It was a lot of myths, right? And dispelling those myths, hearing it directly from survivors or advocates that are out here who are trying to educate, engage, and just get people to take this awareness we're doing now. It's just not just awareness. Put it into action. So when I say awareness to action, hey, we're giving you the information, but we want you to move. We want you to do self-breast
Absolutely.
checks. We want you to be your health advocate. If you see something
Mm-hmm.
or feel something different, talk to your physician. Say, if you have a family history, give me a mammogram. You have dense breasts. There's things that you can do. And I'll let you go on and add to that, because as a younger woman than me, I love seeing your advocacy that you're doing, especially in a market such as Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's like the DC. DC has the highest number of mortality deaths for
Right.
younger Black women. Okay. In this gentrification of moving, I see a lot of movement into Prince George's
Mm-hmm.
County, into Baltimore County, and we have to do our due diligence.
Absolutely. And so, Nicole, I'll let you expand a little bit on how are you getting the women in the Baltimore area, because I know that is an area too that, again, just like DC, a lot of women don't know. So what is Pink for the City? What is Pink for the City doing to help truly helping the women of Baltimore?
I think, with the events that we do host,
Mm-hmm.
I take it through a lens of, I don't want anyone preaching to me. I don't
Yes.
want anyone talking to me. I want it to be interactive. So
Yes.
all the events that we have hosted have been very interactive. So whether it's an art exhibit, it's a paint night,
Mm-hmm.
it's anything, we want to make sure that anything that we're doing is going to lead to interaction. And we really bring the women who are the faces of breast cancer, we bring them to the events. So when I say that, I mean, we'll have a medical provider who looks like us. We have local grassroots organizations that are doing the work. We get everyone in the same room. And for a lot of people, that's made a difference because they felt comfortable asking questions. I've actually had guys ask
Mm-hmm.
questions. And, normally the focus is on women, but they're even asking questions because they're grasping what is being shared to them.
Yes.
And that has actually been pretty effective. It's meeting people where they are, not overwhelming them with too much,
Mm-hmm.
but also to know that there are resources out here. Nobody has to go through this alone. And that's one, as the social worker, I'm very big on making sure that people have access to resources.
Yeah.
Because sometimes also the disconnect,
Right.
they have an issue, but they're not sure of, so how can I navigate this? And so that has worked. It's I know a lot of people say party with a purpose. It's in that realm.
Yeah.
But it does get a lot of positive feedback. And we also utilize social media. So thank you so much, Ms. T, for mentioning the checking your breast. We have a monthly campaign on the 1st, check your chest, breast, girls, whatever.
Absolutely.
Social media posts to remind people. And it's just like with anything, when they talk about people building habits, if you constantly see it, it becomes something. Repetition leads to something being so routine for you. And so for us, by saying, hey, don't forget to check the girls, don't forget to check your chest, every month, that's getting people to think, okay, boom, it's the 1st. All right, let me get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting them where they are. I love it.
And the key word is bringing it to the community
Yes.
and
Yes,
access.
ma'am.
Yes.
Having access to information, access to resources, and being present and seeing the people and trusting the people who are bringing that information to you. What I hate is for people or organizations that will come in and then don't come back, right? They'll like, you know, I'll give an example. I've invited big organizations, and they'll support sometimes with like some small giveaways, but I have a table here for you, right? I want you here so so you can connect and see how you need to
Right.
communicate in the communities where we live. And for me, my goal is always, just like Nicole said, to make sure that the people there are relatable and they resonate, right? So from the providers to the patients to the other resource people that we have just like you, we're going to make sure that those things are there. Some organizations don't even want other organizations to be there. For me, it's like we're a highway.
It's
We
not a
all
comp.
intersect.
It's
We
not
got
a
to support
competition.
each other. I may not be directly be able to support in a way that you may be able to support, or you may be able to connect. So it's about working together so that we can make a bigger footprint, a bigger difference in the communities that we serve, especially here in the DMV, because we got a big area. We got Maryland, DC,
and Virginia. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just like you said, it's not a competition.
Right.
We all need to work together. So like you said, so we can make a bigger impact on how we're gonna knock this out. I love what both of you said. Nicole, meeting people where they are. And I'm like you. I don't talk at me, talk to me. And then once I get that information, just like Tallulah said, now I'm going to put it into action because I got the resources now. Now I'm not just going to sit on it.
Right.
I'm going to share it. I'm going to get active. I'm going to get into the community. I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure that, my sister or my mother or my aunt, my friend, whoever, coworker, they're going to know that information just like the information was given to me. I'm going to share it with them. Let's get into some of the things that you all are doing. What are some events that are going on? I know, Tallulah, you got a whole list of things that are going on.
We got
how can we get involved?
So again, I put my little calendar out there, and there's so much going out. And for me, it's like meeting people where they are and doing the things that they like to do, and then like getting them that information while they're doing it. So we're excited to celebrate our 10-year anniversary of our signature event, which is our line dance and paint. So we're going to be ringing that silver bells for 10 years. And it's with the line dance community. It's a huge community, right? And they partner. We started with 25 people. Now we have almost 200 women and men who come out, and we do some line dancing, but you're going to get some awareness information. You're going to go home with some great information. You're going to hear from some, like you mentioned, some provider. You're going to hear from some survivors. And now I'm even going to do pickleball. Look, we're going to pickle it pink, right?
All right.
We're going to do that as well, right? And, just doing things like this, using my voice, sharing my story. For me, it's about mind, body, and soul. So the things that I do is centered around that. So it's for me, I've had a reoccurrence. So it's lowering your risk. And for me, people are like, oh, I don't want the genetic test. I don't want to know. There's only 10% of us that really get breast cancer from BRCA2, right? It's not every, people will say, I don't have a family history, so I don't need to, no. It's only 10% of us that is genetically connected to breast cancer. So for me, it's like, hey, what can I do to better educate women and men, right? So we to educate teens, young adults to take action. I was 35 years old when I was diagnosed. Like mentioned, there's so many younger women. I felt my lump. Sometimes you don't feel a lump, right? So just making sure that those events that I do that are coming up has that kind of information. So we're excited about that. And Nicole, what you got going on?
Well, I want Nicole to talk about
we decided to take it slow with it. we coming with it. But this year we're actually going to be supporting this upcoming Saturday. We're going to be supporting the American Cancer Society with their walk that they're going to be having in Baltimore. So we have our team Pink for the City. It's at 9 a.m. Y'all pray for me.
You'll do fine.
You're going to do fine. You got this. You got this.
Usually
it's not even walking.
It's
not even a walking. It's being up and having to be somewhere at 9 a.m. on a But no, I'm actually really excited because this is my first time being able to be a part of a walk. So I think this is great. And we have some things working in the background for next year. I'm really excited for the work to be done. But yeah, Miss T, I'm definitely going to pay attention to your calendar because I always see that you have a lot going on. And one day I'm going to make it. I'm going to
Yeah, yeah, just come on,
It's on the way.
and
It's on the way.
yeah, and our event is our line dance event is next Sunday, the 22nd. And then on the 28th is our Pickle Pink. But I got 2 events going on that day. I'm charged with planning a cancer awareness event for the city of Glenarden. So I'll be doing something in the morning, something in the afternoon. And again, we welcome partners. We welcome all to come out or just share the information because you never know who may live in the area, may want to be a part. I love Baltimore. I'm here to support. I used to work the Baltimore market, and even though I'm just up the road in Bowie, but you know, whatever I can to support and promote and help you guys, I'm here.
Thank you. Well, actually, you were one of our first Thriver Thursday participants. This is like maybe a year or
Yeah.
so ago. So yes, we've been plugged in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nicole, can you just talk about the art exhibition that we did last year?
Yeah.
Because that was absolutely amazing.
So what we did, I'm a firm believer. I'm one of the artsy kids. And I'm a firm believer that sometimes words may not fully tell the story, but art can. And so we did this event a few years ago, and so many people were blessed by it. We did it again last year where we had survivors share their experience. Free reign. Doesn't have to be on one specific thing. Free reign, anything that you want to share about your journey. And we had some talented, amazing artists within the city of Baltimore with their disciplines. So whether it was multimedia, whether it's photography, painting, some did it where they were using not paper mache, but they were using paper products to do images based on what was shared. We had opened it up and so many people enjoyed it. Just felt like at times I think everyone's story isn't able to be heard, or people hear it and not really receive it. But if they can see something, you know, it can do something for a person. And just seeing the survivors and even the families of women who are transitioned and just seeing the pieces based on them, it blessed, I will say it blessed some souls. I think it brought some peace for some people. It made people see their journey in a different light because somebody else was showing their interpretation of it, and it was just another way for them to be like, ah. So yes, that was our event, and we had the amazing Miss Tisha as one of our participants. She cried, and it was
I
wonderful.
did. It was absolute. As one of the
It
participants,
sounds like
it
it, but
was absolutely amazing. It was emotional. I mean, just looking at everyone's art piece and the different mediums that they presented the survivor stories in, it was something I had never seen anything like it. And you know, there was
it's
media coverage. It was absolutely amazing. And
well,
I
I think
am
stories are healing.
Yes, they
absolutely,
are.
absolutely
From they and they touch at your heart. They're inspiring. When I first started the line dance event, I would take survivor stories and I would blow them up and have the faces of each woman because I wanted to show that every story was different, that you couldn't take a paintbrush and go white paint. Everybody's story was different. So one of the things that I do is when you're ready and you want to share your story, I provide opportunities for you to do so because I really feel like it is healing for us to tell our stories
right.
too, right? Um, in fact, next year will be my 5-year anniversary. I produced a play and it featured 7 women who were had all were breast cancer survivors, thrivers. And I wanted to show just what I just mentioned. And the stories were from detection to diagnosis to treatment and beyond in their voice. And they had to do some kind of talent. They didn't know that. And then when I asked them to be in it, and I told them I wasn't going to be in it, I was the producer. And so they did such a great job. And just like you said, Nicole, and just like you just share, Tisha, just hearing the stories was so
Mm-hmm.
emotional,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in their own voice, in the way that they wanted to tell it. Somebody danced, somebody was a workout person. She had weights. And you know, Ricky Fairley with Touch was in my play, and she brought the facts for
Mm-hmm.
us, right? All about the numbers. And everything just flowed. And so I love hearing when you can do it in artistic, creative ways. And when you do it again, I'm going to be there. And I might have to do some artwork myself because I love it.
Yes, ma'am.
It was amazing. It was truly amazing. So for those that are out there in the Maryland area, in the DC area, well, just anywhere that want to support Two for Two Boobs and Pink for the City, how can they get involved in these two amazing organizations?
Oh,
Nicole?
okay. So I was like,
I
I
just
was
finished. So I
like,
want to give you
listen, I was going
because I can
to say,
go.
so we are on Instagram. You can follow us at pink_the number 4 the city. We follow everybody back. We share activities that others are having. Like you said, Miss T, listen, this isn't a competition. It's so that there is nothing to compete for. If anything, we are wanting to save lives. Let's do that. But we are active on social media. We do have multiple posts. Like I said before, we have our online campaign, which is the check your breast or check your chest on the 1st. And we do that the 1st of the month. So yeah, we're on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We're building something out right now, but people can reach us there and DM us
Mm-hmm.
and even me and I'm there.
And you can follow Two for Two Boobs. We are on IG. We are on Twitter. I have a private Facebook group. All you have to do is ask to join, and that's two R2
Mm-hmm.
BOOBS. And we also have a Facebook page called Shades Pink, and that is a page that is more open than our group page. And we're always looking to capacity build and help support other nonprofits who are out there. I'm all about grassroots.
Yeah.
And because we are the boots on the ground
Right.
folks, right?
Right.
So there's opportunities when I can share. I can. I'm small but mighty, but when I can do what I can do, I do it. And I also want to say, if you want to just DM, you can. If you're newly diagnosed, we have like a box that's of comfort and care that's going to bring a smile. Mine is a little different because we want to bring a smile while you're going through, for both women and men. And men can get breast cancer too. My
Absolutely.
dad and brothers were diagnosed with breast cancer. Men, check yourself as well. And you can also help check the women in your life that you love or whomever you love. But everybody, just take it on first. And if you don't do it on the first, do it on the twos. Two for two boobs.
Two for Two Boobs. I love it. And Pink for the City. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I just can't thank both of you enough for what you do. Just these two wonderful organizations. Your work is so needed. Your work is important. Your work is necessary. You are bringing representation to people of color, and I am so appreciative of that. And I am just so blessed to have you come on my platform and share about your grassroots organizations. And um, Nicole, thank you again for the opportunity to be a board member of Pink for the City. Tallulah, if you need anything, I am there.
I love
And
you
I
guys. Yeah,
love
and we
and
appreciate you giving us a voice on your
I
platform.
appreciate
You're doing great things as an advocate and as a supporter, and we appreciate you.
I
So thank you.
thank you. Thank you. With that being said, and you already shared your social media platforms. So for those that are out there listening and watching, I hope that you have been blessed. I hope you have been charged and energized and ready to hit the ground running, and go to your social media and follow Two for Two Boobs and follow Pink for the City, and just be on the lookout for their events. Please make sure that you support and help out in any way that you can, because it's not only for the month of October. It is
all year
360 all year round, 365
All
days.
year.
So we don't just stop on October 31st. We keep it going 365 days a year. So if you can't do anything today, maybe you can do something tomorrow. If you can't do it tomorrow, maybe you can do it next week, but just do something. You got the information. Like Tallulah said, now it's time to put it to action. We met you where you were. We're on social media, which is a big platform for everyone nowadays. So we are meeting you where you are, like Nicole said, and now we have given you the information, ready to put it to work. With that being said, I want to say thank you, ladies, for coming back to the tea room, and just sharing about your organizations. You have truly blessed me. Please come back.
Yes,
Please
absolutely.
come back.
It's good
And
tea. Yeah.
oh, this was good. Oh, this was excellent
Be
tea
back
today.
here.
Excellent tea today. And with that being said, this is Tisha from your favorite breast cancer survivor from Tisha's Tea Room, the place where conversations conquer cancer. Just want to say, have a wonderful rest of your day. I wish you good health. I wish you peace. I wish you love and good vibes. Love you, ladies, and we're going to end on a good note, because I've gotten into this thing of I like to dance now.
Yeah.
I always love to dance, but I like to dance on the show now. So, with that being said, we're gonna listen to some Sierra and a little bit of Chris Rock. Not Chris Rock, Chris Brown. Not Chris Rock, Chris Brown.
I was going to say.
I'm about to hear Chris Rock. So here we go. Because this is how we roll. This is how we roll in the DMV. Okay? With 2 for 2 boobs and pink for the city. That's how we roll. So get involved, because we're going to beat this breast cancer. Okay? I want to say I love you, ladies. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
I'll see you
Take care.
soon.
All right.
Happy Sunday.
Happy
Bye.
Sunday.